Victor Gyökeres penalty gives Arsenal a 1-0 win away at Everton, which means they stay top 1 point clear of Manchester City. 2 points clear, actually, of Manchester City. Gab, were you impressed?
I mean, look, people can look at this and say, look, Everton gifted you a penalty, which they absolutely did. I told you when I saw Jake O'Brien in the flesh in person, I'm like, my God, the guy is enormous. On top of that, when you decide to go and you're going to defend, like Joel Embiid defends against one of those little quick guys slashing in the lane with your arms up, I don't know what kind of brain fart he had.
Yeah.
What would possibly, he's not jumping. Yeah,
No,
he is literally
not.
standing with his arms straight up in the air.
Yeah.
If I'm Moyes, I rip him a new one.
It's a big mistake, yeah.
I don't think Arsenal were necessarily brilliant, but defensively, I mean, they held them 0.2 expected goals.
Yeah,
it's kind of like,
control it was
what do you want?
Yeah.
The penalty could have gone the other way. Certainly, Saliba hits Tierno Barry and, he strikes him with his foot. And on the other hand, Saliba was also grabbing his shirt, and Tierno Barry was grabbing Saliba's arm. So did the VAR say, well, they're tussling, and that is the reason then that I'm going to discount Saliba kicking? I don't know. But this is one of those things where I want Howard Webb on my TV to explain what WTF happened there.
Yeah.
Speaking of City, Pep Guardiola says they need to improve. I thought they looked pretty good in beating West Ham 3-0, Jules. Is this contrarian Pep again?
No, because he said it after the Champions League win against Real Madrid. I think he's right.
But they weren't good in that game. Like, that was a messy game.
I don't think they were that great against West. It was just too easy from them, but they gave away almost 1 XG in this game, which is too much against a bad team like West Ham. And I don't think he was happy in how they defended in transition too, which is fair, which is part of the problem. I think with the ball going forward, especially even without Doku, but when you've got Cherki in that kind of form, and Foden and Haaland, that even gets lucky on the goals that he scored, that's fine. It's without the ball that I think he's a bit worried, and he should be. So I agree with him. I think there's work to do. Maybe he goes a bit too far when he said if we can't win the title playing like this. Maybe that's pushing it a little bit, but they can be much better than this.
I thought the Nico plus Bernardo, 2 guys to replace Rodri, takes 2 of them. I thought that worked okay in transition, but it's not a long-term solution at all.
I mean, he was very vocal against Bernardo Silva. It's really rare, I think, for Pep to single out a player, especially one of his leaders. But on Bernie, as he called him, because I'm not sure that's a great nickname, but hey, on Bernie, he slaughtered him, which I struggle a little bit to understand why he went so hard after Bernardo Silva after that game. But maybe he also sees stuff that we don't see. I don't know.
Jules, we're not done. We have more quick hits.
Yes.
Morgan Rogers strikes twice as Aston Villa down Manchester United 2-1 to stay third in the table, 3 points back. Jules, time for more Emery praise.
Time for more Rogers praise, not Emery so much. I think Morgan Rogers is just an incredible form, incredible player. The 2 goals he scored, and he can try them again. And I'm not sure how many he scores, but in this game, the first one is exceptional. The second one, I think Lamens for me should save it. But the first one is out of this world.
Thank you for saying that, because I'm watching my television and the ex-pros on there, they're just slaughtering Lenny Euro for his defending.
True, and rightly so as well.
Okay, well, rightly so. Whatever. You're turning him inside. Okay, it's his better foot, but still, I mean, that's still an incredible finish. You don't expect anybody to I mean...
The first goal or the second goal? The first goal. Yeah, the first goal. But Lenny is a bit slow. So not as slow as the second goal. But Lamens, for me, should save the second one. But still, Rogers carrying this team that again scored from outside of the box, again with goals that are very low expected goals. I don't know for how long this is sustainable from an Aston Villa point of view, but it's a huge win.
10 wins in a row in all competitions. They were in the relegation zone in September.
Yeah, amazing. And Bruno Fernandes came off at halftime. How big a blow this is.
Look, I think this is what they tell you in the self-help books. Turn this into an opportunity, Ruben Amorim. It's obviously a big blow because he's by far your best player, still, mad as it sounds. You had to finish the game with the central midfield of James Fletcher, who is apparently Darren Fletcher's son.
He is, indeed.
Weirdly, Darren Fletcher's other son, who's this guy's twin, is Scottish. I just thought it was funny that they represent different countries. This guy and Lisandro Martinez. I mean, what are you going to do with that, right? Find out. This is going to add more responsibility to other players on the team. Casemiro was suspended for this game. He's going to be back. Ugarte, you have to figure something out. Kobbie Mainoo, is he going to be on the naughty step forever? I know supposedly he's injured. Funny enough, he gets injured after the T-shirt incident. You have to wean yourself off Bruno at some point. And I think this is where other people need to be asked to step up. You're not going to have Bruno forever. Sir Alex Ferguson says it could take Manchester United, quote, another 10 to 11 years to win another Premier League title. Jules, what did Ruben Amorim say in response, and what do you make of it?
Well, I think it's difficult to respond to that when you are the manager and you've just been told by the greatest manager, well, one of the greatest managers of all time, that clearly what you're doing is not that great because you're not going to win a title for another 10 years. And I think Amorim was right to say that Fergie knows and understands the game, especially English football, better than him. Cool. Then Amorim said, no, it won't take us that long to win it. I'm not sure about that. I think it could take that long. And then he said, and I don't know who's going to be the manager by then. Well, if it doesn't take you 10 years, you should surely back yourself to still be there at least in the next 5, right? If you are Amorim. So not really sure what he was trying to say there.
I can pretty much guarantee you that he's not going to be there another 5 years unless he proves Sir Alex wrong and they win the Premier League title in that time frame. Newcastle United let a 2-goal lead slip and end up drawing with Chelsea 2-2. Jules, are you going to criticize Eddie Howe for letting the lead slip? Or do you have sympathy for some of those refereeing decisions, all of which seem to go against Newcastle?
Yeah, a bit of both, really. I thought he took a long time to make his substitutions and his in-game management in the second half was not good enough. There's no doubt about that. But I also think that they were let down by the refereeing on this game from the main referee, from VAR. I think so Garnacho and Ramsey, I think, is bad.
The red card?
Yeah.
Ding, that's one.
Sorry?
Ding, that's
one.
Yeah,
I agree. James on Barnes, that's the one. The Chalobah Gordon for me is 100%. I don't understand how.
It's a penalty every single day.
I just don't understand how you can argue that. I don't know, maybe you could say shoulder to shoulder, but it's not even that. And James from Barnes, although he doesn't really make good contact with the ball, I think the way James is coming across, I think this one, I'm okay with it. But the other two is bad.
And in the end, if you're Eddie Howe, I agree with you. He's not perfect, but you're annoyed. But you're annoyed. Sure. Voltemade, by the way, should have had a hat trick in the first half. And also, you're annoyed too because you get beaten by an individual mistake from Malik Chow and a moment of individual brilliance from Reece James.
Yeah, that's very true. Leeds United destroyed Crystal Palace 4-1 on Saturday evening. But Gab, you're going to complain that that's Crystal Palace, had to play 48 hours earlier as well in Europe.
Jules, you know me so well.
Yes.
You knew I was going to say this.
Of course, it's unfair.
Because of the stupid scheduling conflicts with the stupid League Cup, which should be abolished, which shouldn't exist. They're going to have to play this game against Arsenal tomorrow evening on Tuesday in the League Cup, where they'll presumably get spanked. I don't know. And even if they win, who cares? On Thursday, the game against Coops, they were winning and then finished 2-2, which means that then they didn't even qualify directly, which means they're going to have to go through the Conference League playoffs.
2 more games.
And it's a big deal for Palace. This is Palace's first ever thing in Europe. I don't want to sound like Oliver Glasner. And look, all praise to Leeds United. Leeds United were far better, and they destroyed them. You should not be playing professional football twice in 3 days. And how they allowed this to do it without enough people speaking up about it, when they knew the League Cup, you knew that they were in the Conference League. It's not a surprise, right? When you schedule this nonsense. And the fixture can it's just garbage. It's just, honestly.
He made 11 changes from one game to another. But still, players were involved. They had to travel, all of that. It's not easy.
It's also, you make 11 changes, you're not playing your best team. I mean, it's...
No, but in the Conference League, so then the starting lineup was...
Devaney and whatever.
So it's not the same players that played
still,
2 games in 2 days, but still.